Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Sentai Random Super Show. That's the best name I could come up with. Not great, but hey, I like it. I
We'll
think
table it.
we'll take
We'll
it.
table it.
Oh, we'll take all right. Um, I'm Fiber Silly, and I am joined in this podcast by my friend Justice Ray.
How you doing, guys? I'd love to be on board.
Um, if you follow anything I do, you'll probably notice me from my numerous podcasts and wonder why would I start another one? Because it just came to me and I just had to do it. And so here's how the show's gonna work, guys. At the start of a new, it's a watch show, so you can watch along with us. But we're gonna choose a random season of Super Sentai, which is what the Power Rangers is based off of, and we're going to use a wheel to do it. And we're going to go through that entire season, and then we're going to do it all over again. Presumably, if the world doesn't end, before we get through the season.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Um,
I'm hoping for Serpentera. That like the unearthing of Serpentera from like preferably a red state like Montana or something like that, and just coming in to wreck LA, that kind of thing, and then runs out of battery power, and then like you hear on like Twitter, like, no, the battery power of the Serpentera is fake news.
God. Yeah.
The battery is huge. Battery's huge.
So Ray, why don't you tell the folks at home your experience with Super Sentai itself?
Well, as far as Super Sentai itself, I'm only familiar with the adaptations that we've had via Saban and what would later be Disney. And I believe I stopped watching them from like point A to point B at the end of Dino Thunder. I'd fall into like some episodes of like RPM and completely avoided Jungle Fury and Operation Overdrive for obvious reasons. As far as like Super Sentai is concerned, I've watched a lot of like a tokusatsu. Like I'm actually watching like the first seasons of Kamen Rider, and as well as a little bit of Battle Fever J, mostly for Captain Cossack. That concept is hilarious to me.
Well, cool. As for me, my relationship to Super Sentai is almost the same. I did try to watch a bit of Zero Ranger, which is what the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was made from, and it is way different. And I was like, this is real cool. And then I got busy and I didn't complete it. So this is kind of to keep myself honest, more or less, and actually try to do this because it's really interesting just how different the shows are from each other, even though they're based off basically the same thing.
Well, on the surface, like just the virtue of death meaning something in Super Sentai mattered. Back here in the States, the only death of a ranger that we've had is Kendrick's in Lost Galaxy, and that was temporary. But like death is a very real concept in Super Sentai, and we're just gonna have to we're gonna have to come to terms with it. Like we've only broached it in America, and that like there's only so many scenes of stock footage they use for the Green Ranger, and for White in regards to that, mostly for like limitations on the actor or the script called for them for their end. So and we're gonna come to terms with like actual final death in these shows, and like I'm all for it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the problem with Mighty Morphin. Even though I watched Mighty Morphin forever, is that they try to string so many seasons of Sentai into like one cohesive show, and it just sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Like I fell off after Turbo.
Oh,
yeah, a long time ago.
I'm so sorry you fell off after Turbo. You missed Lost Galaxy.
I did miss Lost Galaxy. Everybody says that In Space is the best of like that era, and it's like
In Space is the best. It is the grand finale of the Zordon era. Like it's the capstone. The fact you fell off a Turbo is unfortunate because like
Well,
Turbo is shit,
yeah,
but
Turbo's not great.
like it's the dip to a very good end. Like,
The problem I had with Turbo to In Space, and I did watch like a couple episodes of In Space, um, is that at the end of Turbo, the Rangers totally lose. They lose to Divatox. Divatox just wrecks their shit.
mm-hmm.
And then at the end of Turbo, like, we're gonna go into space and we're gonna, we're gonna get Divatox. We're gonna like make her pay. We're gonna get, vengeance and justice. And then they don't do that.
Oh yeah, they just completely forget Divatox. She just
Divatox is,
replaced Andromeda.
and that just as a younger person, that just like I was like, well, there's no conclusion to this. This is unsatisfying. I'm out. Now I have watched some episodes of like Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder. I've been watching clips of Beast Morphers and Dino Chargers.
I'm fully out of Power Rangers in regards to anything after Samurai. Like,
That's fair.
like, but like that's only because I just haven't gone around to watching Samurai. I know that Jaden has a sister in the later parts of the Super Samurai, and she's the one that's in the fighting game. But that's it. Like that's really about as far as my Samurai knowledge is. And as far as like Megaforce is concerned, I'm like, oh, we really did that. Like you had a full crossover, we could have just skipped this Sentai. But okay, sure. I guess we need the suits.
Well, I mean, I'm actually excited for whatever the equivalent of Megaforce is because I like the idea of going back and using old props and stuff.
Well, the equivalent of like Megaforce and Super Megaforce are two entirely different shows. Like Super Megaforce is I think Gokaizoku or Kaizoku Ranger or something like that. In regards to it's a pirate themed show.
They're Ghost Sager and Go Kiger.
Yeah. So they're two entirely different shows. They only really like crossed over in the actual crossover shows that they have, and the movie specials and everything.
Neat.
So, there are going to be some movies, in the Sentai series that we could probably like have special episodes about, too.
Oh yeah.
But as far as yeah, like I would like if you want a project, like at least get the capstone of In Space out of the way. Just for Andromeda's story and everything, it's really good. And leading into Lux Galaxy, like I always suggest people watch Lux Galaxy, that's the start of what's going to be the future of Power Rangers in regards to being bottle seasons. So getting familiar with bottle seasons is pretty ideal for how we're going into Super Sentai because they're all bottles. But like you have instances where for Mother's Day they had that special episode where the 3 confirmed mothers of the of the most recent shows in like the 5 years prior teamed up for an assignment, and it was actually pretty dope. And I wanted to see that actually be adapted for like a special episode in America, but it hasn't happened yet.
Well, that's too bad.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So here's how it works, guys. Every Thursday, we're going to get together. We're going to record. I'm going to upload it to YouTube because it's just the easiest place to upload to. So, tune in and listen, especially if you like Sentai. Watch along with us. I'll let you know where you can watch along with us so that way you don't miss episodes. Or, we'll see how it goes. Because Shout Factory has some of them, but not all of them. And then there are other sites that have the rest of them. So we'll be using multiple different sites. It's just how these things work.
Feel free to leave a comment with suggestions on like sites and availability for some of the shows that we're watching.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
As far as like suggestions for like killer crossover stuff, we can't just immediately jump to the 108 like
right. So I
like
think
that big army battle that's going to require a little setup.
So I think my own personal rule is I don't want to start with Zero Ranger because I think everybody would expect us to.
Right.
because that's the first season of Mighty Morphin. And I kind of don't want to go with Kira Major because it's the brand new one, and I don't want to catch up to it, and then we don't
Right.
have anything to watch. So they're on the wheel. So if we hit those, I'll just respin. But they're on the wheel for like later.
But as far as like additions to the wheel, as the further we go along, what's the actual like criteria that you're looking for here? Like, do we want to start with the start of Super Sentai, or is it just what we're familiar from in America?
Just from what we're familiar with in America. Yeah, anything before the 14, 15 seasons of Super Sentai before Zero Ranger is a lot. There's already a lot of seasons we have to go through.
Right.
So it just seems like a good idea to. That's the one. That's where we start. And there is even a season of Sentai that didn't get adapted. There's a couple that haven't been adapted yet, but there's like a few that have actually been skipped over. That we will still cover because they are after.
Right.
Because eventually,
Ranger is adapted in the same sense that like it's only just Kiba Ranger, which is the White Ranger. But there's some material that they do use from Die Ranger that, like, you know, for example, Serpentera and the Thunder Zords and everything of the sort, and the weapons that they use that they actually had to make physical copies of for the purposes of the live stuff that they would have to shoot in season 2, because they can only adapt so much because they had to actually make the white suit and actual ranger scenes in Australia for the purposes of like the making footage, because Kiba Ranger only shows up every so often, and a lot of the footage that they have of Kiba Ranger is usually associated with the other Rangers in their actual suits, not the Zoo Ranger suits that would carry on for 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so anybody asking if we want to like check out Battlefield J, we're not going with the initial start of Super Sentai. This is all just what's been adapted to America.
Yes, absolutely.
Super Sentai was codified by Battle Fever J with the Megazords, the inclusion of Megazords and such. So, well, you get the idea. Big giant mechs. They're not all words.
Exactly.
They used to hand out little plushies of the Zoo Ranger Zords, actually, like to kids in like episodes. Cool. And they're real, and they move and make noises. And I'm just like so disappointed I don't have a plushie Zord right now.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to spin the wheel?
Yep.
All right, here we go. We're going to spin the wheel. You'll hear the wheel, but you can't see the wheel. Sorry, y'all. It's okay. It doesn't like, it's not very special. It doesn't like have like a Sentai theme. It's just
go spin that wheel.
All right, here we go. Bam. And we have big music. We have Gal Ranger. Let's find that on the list.
Gal Ranger, I think this is
Wild Force. So
yeah,
we're starting with basically, if you've watched Wild Force, this is going to be totally different from what you've seen, except for like the fight scenes. That's how Sentai works, really.
Let's go cell phones and cell phones and weird ass animals. Let's go.
So go on.
Oh, sorry. So the transformation sequence is they would use like a cell phone and it would close and form the body of the Ranger. And I always thought it was like the weirdest transformation. Like, as far as like my favorite transformations, it's usually like Dino Thunder, Ninja Storm, and Lightspeed Rescue. But like I also like Lost Galaxy too. Like I will not shut up about how much I like Lost Galaxy. It's my favorite theme. It is my favorite like season, and I will probably get a lot of heat for that because everyone's like in space, but I'm like, yeah. But as far as a nice bottle, this is my favorite bottle, and like Wild Force is after that. So I'm glad to actually watch Wild Force. If so, that way I could ignore the thought of the Red Ranger and how they pushed him for SummerSlam, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah, so if you want to watch along with us, Shout Factory actually does have this episode, this series. So we're gonna watch all 51 episodes, and then we'll switch to a new season. That's
All
all I
right.
know. So next time, expect some like opening music. Before we start talking, like we'll have like an
Production
intro.
value?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So that'll be cool. That's it for this introductory intro. Next time it's going to be a lot longer.
All right, I have time for this.
Okay. So Ray, if you feel comfortable, where can people find you online if they want to ask you about stuff?
All right, so I'm on Twitter at Justice Ray with the I is a 1. Yeah, you'll be, and Ray is spelled REI. As for Facebook, it's yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, don't Facebook. No, you can't You can't even reach me on Facebook. How dare you?
But I'm also on Discord. If you guys feel so inclined, at 9857. As I spelled, so Justice Ray 9857. If you guys feel like discussing Super Sentai or anything for real, I love reaching out with people.
All right.
And mostly talking about Power Rangers. 13 years of shows. I'd like to get some return of investment on it.
That's fair enough. You can find me, as always, on Twitter at DatFirePrincess, spelled D-A-T. You can find me on the numerous podcasts I do, including this one that I just added. But, such titles as Pining for the Falls, where me and Dr. Sea Monster watch through all of Gravity Falls, and when we're finished with that, because we're in the second season already, who knows what we'll do? I don't know yet. I'm going to let him pick, since I picked Gravity Falls. And we'll, just like that. And yeah, so tune in every week. This is gonna be a lot of fun, I think.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, glad we're starting with one that you're excited for.
Yeah, Wild Force. Yeah.
All right, I don't have a sign off for this one yet because I don't know what how the Wild Force I should say the Gal Rangers, what their call sign is. So.
Oh, okay. So the Gal Rangers, the call sign. I don't know that one because I didn't really watch it. But as far as here it is, Gal Access, summon, spare the earth.
All right, so yeah,
but it'd be Wild Access, and then they would transform.
So
and there would be a lot of roars.
Well, I can't do all that.
Yeah. Production. Production value next episode. This is an introduction.
So until next time, folks. Gal Access.
Gal Access.
There we go. This is weird. All right, later, y'all.